Good afternoon, welcome to Interesting Talks with Footprints. Hopefully your glass is half full rather than half empty. And as you know, you can always go and top it back up again. Hope that you're well. Today's Tuesday afternoon, is going towards evening. Luckily I can get outside. I do love doing my videos outside. I like nature, it makes me feel relaxed, calm. And I'm sure most people do feel the same. They always say that if you go for a walk in a forest, your natural heart rate, your enzymes, your self will be much more calmer than if you go to somewhere like a shopping centre like Westfields and walk around for hours in there. So nature is not a bad place to be for you to relax. Now today's talk is about therapy, when to quit therapy, when you've reached your goals and you feel that you no longer need a therapist. Now this works on both sides of the fence. Obviously you can say to your therapist, what do you think about ending the sessions now? Do you think I'm ready? And the therapist will, give you their opinion. Also, therapists, from my perspective, we have to be careful that we don't keep clients too long for the sake of filling our accounts, dealing with our books, keeping our practice busy. We have to look at clients when they're ready to move on and be prepared to move them on. It's something that I presume some therapists may struggle with. Personally, I really haven't had that problem so far, touch wood. But I'm sure therapists do struggle with it and it can be an issue. Now, if you're thinking of finishing therapy, have you achieved all of your goals? Have you got to a place whereby you've taken on board what your therapist has been saying to you, what you've been working with your therapist, so that when you start to find questions that you want answered, that you kind of hear your therapist's voice in the back of your mind or subconsciously affecting you to make the decisions that would be positive for your outcomes that you're looking for? Have you reached that stage? Or are you in a position whereby you still need that like personal trainer, like going to the gym? Sometimes people go to the gym and if they train by themselves, they go in, they find it a little bit difficult. And the next thing you know, they're heading towards the showers and going home after 10, 15 minutes. Whereby if you've got a personal trainer, you might do your 90 minutes of, exercise strategically. Now that's sort of like what a therapist does with us. They help us to go through difficult phases, difficult, challenging situations that we have to face or that we want to face to become a better person. And they walk us through it. They stand by our side. That's the name of my company. It's called Footprints, which means footprints in the sand, or equates to footprints in the sand. I walk with my clients by the side of them, not in their shoes, but by the side of them. So work they do with me, ideally, which should help them to stay focused and on track for the rest of their life. Now, if you quit therapy too early, you could actually mess up the rest of your life. You will not get the full benefits of what you would have got if you continued your therapy to its natural progression, to its natural end. Okay? So bear this in mind. So when you're feel that you're coming to the end of your therapy, discuss this with your therapist, go into detail where you're at, have you achieved your objectives? And if not, then you need to carry on, to be fair, so that you get the full benefit of what you've already put in. And it's not just like a sticky plaster that deals with the immediate issues that you're dealing with, but it helps you to have a toolkit for the long-term issues that you will face coming daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, to the end of our days. That is how life is. There's always going to be a challenge. So if you've got the right toolkit in place, then whatever challenge it is, you should come out of it either winning, equilibrium, or you've learned a serious lesson to go forward for the next time something similar comes into fruition. So this is a bit of a short talk, but it's really about preparing you to know when to finish therapy. Those people that are in therapy, obviously some people have never been in therapy, but even if you're going into it, you need to think about what you want to get out of it, when's going to be the midterm of it, when's going to be the end term of it. And for some people, like I have a client and they actually want to take a break to digest what they've taken on board and to be able to answer the questions that have been posed so that they come up with different questions for when they come back to me for further sessions. So that makes a lot of sense also for some people. So sometimes you need to take a break, digest what you've learned, see how it sits with you, and then find out what other questions come out of the issues and answers that you've attained through looking at yourself, maybe looking at your attachment style, looking at what you've brought out from your journaling, what you've learnt from your journaling, what you've learnt from other exercises that you might have participated in, meditation, deep breathing, or, you know, setting your boundaries. How does it feel now after you've set boundaries and now living with the consequences of new boundaries, new criteria for your life? How does it affect you now, like 6 months later, a year later? Things do change. Once you see a therapist and start opening up those doors, your life ideally will change. It's not going to be the same, because questions will be asked that you were scared to ask yourself, and therapists will ask you those questions and take you to places that you might feel uncomfortable with, but again, you'll get a lot out of it. So hopefully this gives you some idea of what it's like to come to an end of therapy and how you process coming to the end of your therapy. Do like, share, leave your comments. For those of you that are in therapy or have come out of therapy, leave me some comments so other people can understand how the process worked for you. I really would appreciate that. I look forward to hearing from you. So in 2 weeks' time, I'll be back again with another video. Take care of yourself, try to stay positive, and remember, that glass is half full rather than half empty. Bye for now.